Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Shred and Soul.
I'm Shred, a.k.a. Kevin Wood.
And I'm Soul, a.k.a. Wind Hughes. And before we introduce to you our amazing guest, Skyler Wolf, we just wanted to take a moment and honor our beloved Ozzy and send love and prayers to his family. It's a loss for all of us. Musically, he was an amazing pioneer.
Yeah, he was definitely one of the main guys. And I remember even in the 70s, people would have on their walls in their rooms altars of Ozzy pictures because he was so renowned. And I was lucky enough to see him in 1980 with the Blizzard of Oz tour when Motorhead opened for him. And of course, the time before that, he came through Seattle with Van Halen as a supporting act during the Never Say Die tour. So.
Yeah, one of my favorite shows of his was actually with your mom.
Really?
In Santa Cruz. We were at an all-day festival of some kind, and Ozzy was there, and I was so excited, just so excited to see him.
Yeah, I would have been thrilled to have met him.
Yeah, so heartfelt love and blessings to the Osborne family.
Yeah.
I wish I could have been alive to experience a show, but I'm glad I'm here to listen to the music that he created. So condolences to his family. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne.
So this awesome dude here is our grandson, Skyler Wolf, and he is going to be our Sportscaster guest periodically. And one of the things that prompted us to do this is when we talk to him about sports, he's like an encyclopedia. I don't know how he remembers this stuff, all the different teams and what they played. And so we just thought that he would be here today and periodically as our guest, and he's putting together his own podcast on sports, which I'm looking forward to. So welcome, Skyler.
Thank you guys for having me on the show. I'm very happy to be here and excited for what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. We're going to start with, I guess, the Seahawks, right?
Absolutely.
Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks.
What's going on with the Seahawks?
And who's the shirt? Who's number 14?
This is unfortunately DK Metcalf. Not there anymore. Very sad, not happy about it, but it's okay. We move on.
Is he your favorite player?
He went to Steelers, right?
Yep, he did go to the Steelers.
And Russell Wilson be throwing the ball to him?
No, Russell's on the Giants.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's on the Giants now, and that's going to be pretty interesting. He has the exact same locker that he had when he won the Super Bowl there in that stadium. So,
really?
Yeah. That'll be pretty interesting.
That's auspicious.
Yeah. It'll be cool to see if it gives him a kind of mojo to his game.
I bet it will.
Brings it back.
We'll get to see a lot of DK, though, on TV because Steelers are a popular team, and you see Steelers games a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mainstream season, I think. It's going to be a make it or break it season for the Steelers, I think.
Well, I was looking at last year. The Hawks' win was 10. The loss was 7. Mm-hmm. They were number 2 in the NFC West. So obviously the things I'm sharing are going to be written down because I don't remember this stuff. So that's why they're here. But I thought that was a pretty good season. What do you think they're going to do this year?
I think that was an incredible season, especially for what the expectations were for them headed into it. Brand new coach, basically a bunch of new players. The chemistry wasn't perfect, and I think a 10-7 season was definitely well above expectation. And I think that'll lead into a lot of chemistry this year, especially with how Sam Darnold orchestrated all of the off-season meetings that he had with his receivers, throwing the routes and all that. I think it'll be pretty cool to see the chemistry that this team has.
Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. I was watching a replay of the Vikings and the Rams, one of the playoff games. And although that was not his night, when you look at the, I think what he threw, 5 interceptions or something like that.
I can't remember the exact stats.
It was 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
But he was on the other side of the field, Cooper Kupp.
Mm.
So it was kind of like, okay, well, because the Hawks are going to take Cooper. And although Cooper Kupp's not one of those DK Metcalf kind of guys.
No, not at all.
No, he's more of like the inside guy.
Incredible route runner, yeah. So
that would be fun to see.
that's definitely an interesting kind of thing you notice there.
Yeah. And he's maybe he'll be have a Steve Largent type of couple seasons.
That's a good take.
Yeah.
I like that take. I never thought of that.
Oh yeah, because he was one of the best.
Mm-hmm. No gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
All right, so I need to bring up a pet peeve because you brought it up, really, just to touch on this. What's with losing Pete Carroll? I love Pete Carroll. I miss Pete Carroll. It impacts how I feel about the team. What's up with that?
It was just time. I loved Pete. You know, he was the coach growing up my whole life. But I think the game grows every year, and eventually kind of outgrew him at that moment, and the Seahawks just needed to move on. So I think that is what happened, and unfortunately it had to happen that way.
All right, how do you outgrow Pete Carroll? He was part of the soul of that team. How do you outgrow your soul?
But he was such a good soul that he couldn't get rid of our offensive coordinator. And I'm going to throw a lot of shade onto Shane Waldron here.
Go for it.
I couldn't stand watching the games when he was the offensive coordinator. Each play call would baffle my brain. So I think that Pete Carroll, keeping him while he was watching the unsuccessful offense that we had, was just to tell that Pete needed to kind of move on and we needed to get the team moving on.
Someone who would be better able to make the hard decisions.
Yeah, make the hard decisions and
do you
what's
think
right
that's
for the
happening?
Team. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think Mike McDonald has really re-energized the Seattle Seahawks. I think, especially with the new hire of Clint Kubiak and how he worked with Sam Darnold, I think that's really going to be a good tell. He wanted to get the best fit for Sam, and I think he's really done that. So it'll be really cool to see what they can put together.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear somebody's positive about it. I mean, it is a big change for diehard fans.
For the old timers.
Yeah, you see the old timers go their way, but Pete Carroll's going to be with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
Gino.
And Gino.
And what's with losing Geno Smith?
Don't you think he was overpaid, though? I mean,
I think it was a little bit overpaid, but I do think he deserved it because he did what he did with the team that he had, especially with the O-line that he had. He was getting hit every single play, pressured every single play. So I think he deserved the contract, but I can kind of see how you think it's a little bit overpaid. That's not crazy. Mm-hmm. But it is interesting what went down with Gino, for sure. I think it was sad that it happened that way. I think the biggest reason was probably how the fans treated him. As crazy as that is, I think he got a lot of really bad energy from the fans, and maybe he just wanted to move on from that.
Why do you think the fans had that attitude towards him?
because they were losing.
I'll do it.
But I also think the Seattle Seahawks fan base, the 12s, have a really high standard, and we want our team to be at a peak. And I think that's because of what happened to us so many years ago. We were at this peak and then immediately gone. And so I think that the fans just want us to be back to that point, and that's a really hard point to get to. So it's just a hard standard for Gino to hit.
I think things changed after they lost Wilson. Truly. But then I wouldn't know the way someone like you would, but...
I
can agree. That was like...
Well, Wilson started getting the money.
Yeah, true. Mr. Hollywood.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. And it went to his head, I think. You know, here's a guy who came out hot, who had mobility, but then he got hobbled, the second season into the championship era, and it was never the same after that. He couldn't move around.
No, but he was getting hit a lot, too.
He was getting hit his ass kicked. But
you know, it's kind of sad there's a president here, but the Seattle Seahawks cannot get a O-line. I like to say this a lot, but I think the worst trade I've ever witnessed as a Seahawks fan was our Max Unger-Jimmy Graham trade. He was our great center that we had, and we decided to just get rid of him for Jimmy Graham, and that completely did not go well. We have not had a good O-line since, but I think we have some rookie O-linemen and some people who are going to make a strive to be better.
I've had the sense that when the day came when Wilson left and all the players you loved, the older guys started to go in Seattle, the Hawks became a new, younger team again.
Yep.
They've never quite risen from that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. Super young team. We do have some vets on there. Like Leonard Williams is going to be great for there. Keep the team going. Cooper Kupp's great. He's been showing that he's going to be a good vet for the team. But I think this is going to be really good for the future because if we had a 10-7 season last season, only can get better. And then after this season, they're going to be older, not sophomores, most of them, and just keep going. So
Hope so.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
question. You guys were talking about it earlier. The 12th man. Where did that come from? And
That's
I know what it meant
old-
during the games, but how did that start?
That's an old tradition. I think 1922 Texas A&M.
I'm pretty sure it might have been a Braves thing too. I'm not 100% sure, but
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. I saw different dates and different things, but it's been around forever. And I think the Seahawks adopted it in a big way because they had such a loud stadium, and it made a difference. When people would come see the Seahawks, that stadium was so loud it would really put the Seahawks at an advantage. And of course, you can't say enough about the crowd support for a team. You know, I'm old enough to have gone to see Seahawks games in the Kingdom, and that was a noisy stadium. And that noise alone, I believe the Kingdom noise is what caused games to stop. They created a rule where you could have a crowd noise timeout or something.
get flagged for it if the crowd was
get
too
flagged,
loud.
Yeah. And so I think that the fans knew they could have an impact. And the 12th man idea was always been there. And so it was just made sense to retire the 12th number and call the fans the 12th man.
Well, what was the story about the guy in the crowd?
No, I think it comes from what I heard. It was a guy dressed up, ready to play,
Okay, in uniform.
but he was a fan. And he wasn't going to go out there. He just represented it.
He was
So-
number 12 in the team.
Yeah.
Cool.
As the story goes, it could be just complete BS, but
I also think from memory that Texas A&M was really not happy with the Seahawks being the 12th man fan base. I'm pretty sure there was a big deal.
was there
about it,
like a
right?
big deal
Yeah.
about it? Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what happened, but I believe there was problems with that for sure.
I wonder if they, like trademarked it or copyrighted it so that Seahawks own it.
I wonder. Maybe.
Maybe.
So yeah, that stadium was crazy loud, and going back to crowd support, you mentioned that about Gino. I was there one time when it was Dave Craig, and Dave Craig had some great seasons, and he was a good quarterback, but he had fumbleitis, and it was a game against the Browns or something like that, and he kept dropping the ball and from under center,
Fumbleitis.
and the entire stadium was just screaming at him, beaming all of their negativity on him alone down on the sideline. And that
That's
must have been just incredible. It was incredible to see. It's almost like a religious experience in that stadium.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do the sacrilegious now. I want to start talking about the 49ers. And let me say, that when we first moved here back to Northern California, I was excited I used to be a Niners fan when I lived in California previously, and I came back, and I know Skyler's totally into football, and so I thought, oh, what a cool thing, I'm going to get him some flannel Niners pants, and I sent them to him. I didn't know about the rivalry. I was clueless. And so I sent them to him, and he told me he was going to burn them. He wouldn't wear them. And that was my introduction into how serious and how deep the rivalry between the Niners and the Hawks are. So you guys want to educate me about this?
Well, the heavy-duty rivalry started when both teams got good. Because, you could say it kind of started when Seahawks went from AFC West to NFC West. But, and then AFC West, it was, the Orange Crush, because the Orange Crush needed to be stopped, and the Seahawks are going to try to do it every time. And I think there was kind of a rivalry against the Raiders, too.
But I mean, especially now, too. Pete Carroll
There's
and
beef there.
Gino,
Yeah.
that's going to bring it back.
Other than the Pete thing, why did it continue all these years? I don't get it.
Well, then the realignment of the league, all of a sudden, Seahawks are in the same division as the Niners, and we all know the Niners historically had this amazing run.
Yeah.
And they
Haven't won since that, though.
and
Well, they didn't do
and they
that
still act
poorly
like
last
they
season.
have.
They were playing well when we first moved back here. The Niners are doing really well. And now I know that the last season, their win was 6 and their loss was 11. So they didn't have a great season, but they were still fourth, I
The two
believe, in the
seasons before
NFC.
last season
last.
were amazing, though.
What do you mean, that's last?
That's the last.
Okay,
And I'll
it's
tell
all
you,
perspective. Numbers can lie.
from an entertainment standpoint, though,
That's
the
funny.
49ers gave us a great show the season before last.
Yes.
And the following season. Those runs, they built that team up and earned my respect, in a large way, because, we moved here and it was like, oh, that's great. All we get on TV is the Niners. And
The Raiders at the time, they were doing great.
Which was the Raiders and the Niners were kind of like my least favorite teams of all of them. And but anyway, we at least had 2 teams.
Yeah.
But I remember when you first came to California, when we first moved here, and I'd lived here before, but Kevin hadn't, and the Seahawks were really not doing well. And he was so frustrated that his main team kind of sucked that year, and the Niners were doing really well. And you actually found yourself cheering for the Niners, and you went through what I perceived as an identity crisis because you felt guilty that you were rooting for the Niners when you were such an ardent Seahawks fan.
Well, see, that's the thing. I've been an ardent Seahawks fan since the 70s. And I know that there are times when the Seahawks are not really worth watching. And so you can just, and it's frustrating too, because that's your home team. And you go, oh, every Sunday, I remember year after year, every Sunday we get to watch the C jokes, and it was embarrassing at times. And I would, gravitate towards NFC East teams.
But fess up, you were liking the Niners. When Purdy came on,
Oh, yeah.
that amazing year when he filled in and did so well, you were rooting him on. You were
because
jumping up and down.
Game after game, we got to see a great game on
Yeah.
TV. Great game, close games, just competitive, high-scoring games. And then I just wanted that to keep going because, all right, man, they were on a roll.
Yeah.
And still, though, even during that, he would wear his Seahawks shirt out. We'd go to a pub somewhere to do whatever, and you can feel the eyes looking at the Seahawks shirt going across the room. But he proudly wore your shirt, right?
I don't have any Niners paraphernalia, and I never
know.
will have any. That's any consolation.
Did you really burn those pants, or did you just throw them away?
I don't think so, but I have no idea where
Well,
they
they
are.
go. Do you want new ones?
Never. Never. No, I'm quite good.
I've learned my lesson.
Yeah. Oh, man. I will never talk good about the 49ers, but I probably will right now because I think Brock Purdy's story is pretty incredible. I think it's going to be pretty cool this season, especially that he just got the contract, to see if he holds up the level of play that he's had, because that'll really tell if he's what he is.
If he gets pounded, we've got Mac Jones.
And I was actually reading about him today, that in their, what would you call it, their practice, they have their pre-practice sessions and camps, and that he was doing really well and holding right there with Purdy. So they were feeling really confident that if Purdy had an injury, that he would be able to step in and do really well. I guess they see him as not as fast a runner as Purdy.
No.
But that he's really good with some
Definitely not.
other strengths. Purdy's amazing. He runs. He's amazing. But they really like him. I don't know very much about him.
I think he showed some good things on the Patriots when he was there. I think it was kind of unfortunate, his experience. I'm sure he thinks it's that way as well. But I bet he thinks this is a great opportunity for him. he can really show out and possibly beat out this quarterback, since he's not a veteran quarterback who's already stapled as starter. So if he does that, I mean, I don't know if the Niners would ever do that, but maybe Mac Jones could do something.
Any other players on the Niners that you would reluctantly say are good?
Fred Warner, that dude is terrifying.
What about him?
He's just ferocious on the field. He's incredible. He's like the captain. He is the captain of that defense.
When Bosa's out there with him, though,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Insane.
amazing.
I do think losing Greenlaw was really bad for the Niners. I think that duo was pretty strong. So I feel like that might be a hit to him. But he's still going to go out there and be Fred Warner, so you can count on that.
How do you know all this when you hate the Niners?
I have to watch it twice. I have to watch it all the time. And
You watch anyway.
Yeah.
Is that hard for you to sit there watching them do so well?
Well, they didn't last season.
No. They were number 4.
Yeah. But in the NFC West.
Right.
But
Which is last.
it's irritating. Every time I see him do good, I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. And them in the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs was really hard for me because I was pretty burnt out with the Chiefs, and I hated the Niners, and so I had to root for the Chiefs. And then watching them sell that Super Bowl was heartwarming for me. So I'm glad they have a bad sell, just like the Seahawks do. Yeah,
So now they moved down to California, so you're a Californian now.
I am.
Do you think that you might have the experience like Kevin did of little by little, they kind of grow on you a bit?
No shot.
Are we going to make a bet here?
We can make a bet.
All right, what are we betting? Online.
It only took me 8 years.
Bet like $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah. We can even shake on it.
No, I don't have $1 million to give to. It's not
Neither
gonna
do I.
happen.
So
All right, this is just, it's a bet, like a good faith bet, that I think you're going to start appreciating the Niners.
never.
All right, you are all our witness.
I'm never appreciating the Niners. I'm never appreciating the Giants either.
What's about the Giants?
I hate the Giants.
Why?
They're trash.
What do you mean they're trash?
I don't like them. I'm a Mariners fan as well as a Padres fan. So the Padres don't like the Giants, and I don't like them either.
You're loyal to your people.
I am. Yeah. I don't think there will ever be a part of me that becomes a San Francisco sports team fan, unfortunately.
I remember talking to you about the Patriots, they're riding high, and I love the Patriots, and people hated the Patriots just because they had such a long winning streak.
Well, Tom Brady was being Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, he was a great player.
He was a great player. I mean, the GOAT of football. 7 Super Bowls, are you kidding me? He has the percentage of Tom Brady going to the Super Bowl is the same percentage of Steph Curry making a 3.
Whoa.
That was probably one of the craziest stats I've ever read in my life.
Wow.
It just shows how good he was. And people just had to sit there and watch.
I loved the Patriots when he was playing. I mean, they were so fun to watch, and I really rooted for him. It's like the Chiefs for a while were winning everything, and I like the Chiefs.
Bandwagon?
Mahomes is amazing. I call him my homie. He's...
I don't know what it is, but if a team goes and wins a Super Bowl like 2 times, I stop rooting for them. And,
Why?
And I start to get a little attitude against them, and before you know it, I'm just like rooting that they lose all the time, and no matter who they're playing, I hope they get beat.
What do you think that's
I don't know
about?
what that is.
Probably just viewer fatigue.
Yeah,
I don't want to see the same team win every
because
single
that's
year.
true. It
Like
makes
in
them
Formula One,
anonymous.
when Max
who's
wins.
Playing? Oh, Patriots.
Yeah,
Who's
Yeah.
playing? Oh,
that's true. I
Patriots.
think it is that way. They're saying when Max won every race
Like with the
in
Chiefs.
F1.
They're an amazing team, and they've
Yeah.
got talent. That's why they're so good.
Dude.
But
They're really
okay, I want to see some more teams.
Yeah. Especially with the media coverage the Chiefs were getting the past couple of years. It lightened up last year, I think, because the fans were so irritated with it. But they are a great team. Patrick Mahomes is pretty incredible. You can't deny that he's unbelievable on the field. So unfortunately.
Enjoy him now before
What-
he gets hobbled. You know?
Yeah.
What do you think about Taylor Swift joining the team?
Get her on the field, man. She's tall. She could play wide receiver. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a crazy couple, too. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. What a
You do?
crossover. Not like crazy in a bad way, just you don't really see that too often.
Well, I think it works for them. They're both megastars in their fields, and they can understand the celebrity and the pressure and the life. I can't imagine how they managed to spend time together, their schedules, especially with this last tour of Swift's. But I could see them together. I could see why it works.
I can't understand it, but it's it's great for them. And, overall, it's good for the sport too because
More people, yeah.
it brings people in, it makes people interested. And a little girl going, well, who's Taylor? Seeing,
Yeah,
oh, he's a football player.
Yeah.
What is football?
that's a good point.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You
point.
think Taylor Swift fans are going to be more exposed to football and maybe reach out, participate in sports more because of that? That's interesting
Yeah.
thought. It could be.
I don't know if it'd go the other way with little boys going,
I want to be a pop star. It could be.
Yeah.
I want to be a singer. I want to be a pop
or I
star.
want to check her out and buy her records.
Yeah.
Put her posters up in my room. I doubt it for boys, but hey, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to go Warriors?
Warriors.
Warriors.
Come on.
We have to go Warriors.
I am a Warriors fan because
Yay.
Yeah, Warriors.
Yeah.
I love the Warriors before I even moved here.
Well, they were 7th seed this last season, and, they were exciting in the playoffs, and then Curry gets injured. What the heck? I mean, I remember we were like, no, this can't be happening.
he started off hot, too.
Yeah.
That game he was really playing. And I was really interested to see where the Warriors would go if he would have stayed healthy.
Yeah. I was listening to a commentator today say that the Warriors presented as if he'd been in, they knew they could have won. And then the other people were saying, no, they still would have lost.
I'm one of those guys because I think, watching them all season, they would get on a little mini sprint and they win two, or they'd decisively win one, and the next one they'd lose. And it would be like, well, what happened? They were so hot, and then now you're so cold.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And there
But
were
once
some
they
big
got
teams.
Butler, it changed,
It did.
Yeah,
right? It flipped.
it
Yeah.
did flip.
Especially in the beginning, and then it got a little more inconsistent. But Butler has really made a difference to that team.
For sure. The presence he brings on the court is, I think, what allowed the team to thrive, especially with taking pressure off of Curry because, he's getting doubled every single game all the time. He has to constantly be running around. If he has another superstar on the court who can relieve some of that stress off him, it kind of frees up his play. But he's so good, I don't even know if it mattered. But I think it was a great ad for them at the deadline.
Yeah, I think Butler was a great ad, and there were a few people like Podemski's really
Yeah.
stepping up. I really like him, and I think that every season he gets better. He's had some injuries too, but each season he seems to grow, and they're playing him more. They really played him a lot in the playoffs, and
It was cool to see Quentin Post actually
Yes.
start to get his legs, being
Yeah.
a rookie and then taking on a lot of responsibility like that.
Yeah.
Especially before the Butler trade, he was really starting to come on as
Yeah.
a player. I think, a lot of those guys were so young in their careers, they still had some development yet
Yeah.
to take place. We saw that in Podemski
Yeah.
in the way that he
Podemski.
Podemski. How do you say that?
Podemski.
Podemski.
I can't even say it.
Podemski.
Podemski.
I know I got it
Pods.
wrong,
He's Pods.
There you
but
go.
the pods.
Podemski.
Yeah.
Podemski.
But yeah, he became more reliable, probably halfway through.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun to see.
Yeah.
And the one person that I was really enjoying was Spencer. I think he could have been played more, but he came
Stud.
from what, lacrosse?
Stud.
Was it
yeah,
lacrosse he
yeah.
was playing and somehow shows up
Stud.
out of nowhere?
Yeah, that was
mean,
pretty cool.
Spencer's really exciting to me to watch. Someone with that much talent that he can just step on the court and play as well as he was playing.
Just heart.
Yeah.
He wanted to succeed, and
Yeah.
it was pretty. cool watching that because you see some games where there was really nothing going for the Warriors, and then the bench would come on,
Yes.
and then they would take over.
Yeah.
And that was incredible to see. So
That was
Right,
always
well,
great.
yeah.
Speaking of that, I wrote down some of the ages here. One of the things I think the bench brought, I mean, there were a couple of old guys on the bench, like Klay Thomas for a while when he was still there. They put him, Klay Thompson, excuse me. Thank you. That's why we have him here. You know, they put him on the bench for a while, and that kind of saddened me. But the bench was younger. And the older guys were getting tired as the game went on, and you could just see the fatigue. And I think that when they allowed the bench to come on, like the Pods and some of the other players, that they brought that stamina to the game.
I can agree.
Yeah.
I think especially with Moses Moody, he was
Yes.
always great.
And he's only 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool to see. You know, Kuminga's a stud. It'll be really cool to see or interesting, I should say, to see what goes down with Kuminga.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't decided anything yet. A bit of interest in him, but what do you think's going on? What are they holding out for? What's going to happen?
He's you know, he's a good player and everything, but like, having watched him all season there was a string of injury-related absences. There was a little comeback near the end. That was a building up point before the injury, where he was getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's gotten to the point where he's good enough to be getting the big money.
I don't know about that. I mean, you watch Kuminga, and I think part of it is that he's had this thing with Kerr, this kind of energy going between them for quite a while. And then he wasn't played much anymore. And I remember us talking about how he seemed to do better when the A guys weren't on the court, that he could step up and shine. But I almost felt as that when Curry and Green were on the court, that he had to take a back seat, and he didn't quite know how to play it. He didn't fit into the dynamic a lot when the A team was up there. But then when they were injured or off, like for a while, Green was suspended. Draymond Green was suspended, and then Wiggins was injured. You know, during that period, they played him more, and he did really, really well. And then nothing in the playoffs. What was that about?
Maybe the stars were too bright. I don't know. I think the Curry loss hit the team hard. I feel like he was their leader, and they needed him, and he was the way they would win. And if they could just support him any way that they could, and that would be what caused Kuminga maybe to have a struggle. Maybe because all the pressure was now on the other guys instead of having Curry take the pressure that he always has. Maybe they never felt something like that before. I don't know. Could be a lot of different factors.
Curry definitely is the kingpin, and even Butler. I remember after a game they were talking to him. He was saying, "We have to do everything to support this guy. He's our leader, and it's our job to take care of him." So I mean, that's just the way they're built, and why not? I mean, Curry is the guy. They're a different team when he's out there.
Hey, but talk about the way they're built. What the heck? What are you doing getting rid of Looney? Looney was your rebounder. Looney, 6'9". He's one of your tallest players. Bad move, I think. What do you think?
I agree with it being
Really?
a bad move. I don't know why you would get rid of Kevon Looney, especially if you could just have him on the bench. If you go get a bigger big in free agency, he would just bring that edge to the bench, especially, and just in the game in general, with his rebounding skills.
He was always under the basket.
Yeah. Multiple.
Yeah.
He's very smart out there. He's, I heard that he had a huge presence in the locker room, especially mentoring the younger players and taking leadership roles. As far as that goes, I saw Curry was mentioning that he's missed in that regard as well. So you can only imagine. You don't hear what these guys are saying a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Watching it on TV.
How do you think the Warriors are going to hold up, since what blows my mind is they're considered a small, short team when Curry's, 6'2"? Their short guys are 6'3", 6'5", and, they're considered a small team. What do you think about that?
I mean, they've been playing small ball the whole time they were on their run. So it's kind of their thing. But I think now that they're kind of getting older, they maybe gotta get a big that can really just hold it down for them and let them keep doing what they do, but have a big that can add that presence.
Well, aren't the other teams with these, like Jokic, they're getting taller and taller.
Yeah, like Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, oh my
just an
goodness.
alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, his logo is really cool. It's an alien, so.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll show you, but it's pretty cool.
I mean, they are getting so tall now.
It's ridiculous.
They're coming from all parts of the world, and they're Serbia, a lot of Serbians.
Yeah, those guys are dominating.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
So, as the new players are getting taller, the older guys, which are already tall, are starting to seem shorter, and the Warriors have a smaller team.
Yeah.
So don't you think they should have kept Looney just for that?
Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of him, especially when they haven't made a move yet.
Yeah.
You've seen all these teams make a move and add people or get rid of people or just try and get ready for the next season. And it's kind of like the Warriors are just staying the same the whole time.
So what's their strategy?
Something's
Something's brewing, I think.
Something's brewing.
You think
those
behind
guys
the
aren't gonna
scenes?
just
Yeah.
sit in their hands.
I don't know how you wouldn't be brewing something when you have Curry. I feel like you have to respect what Curry's done and be like, okay, we got to make this team good for him. Like he's not going to be here that much longer. We got to value these years. So.
And I think that explains to me sometimes when they're looking at older players. I mean, you look at Curry. Curry's 37, Draymond is 35, Butler's 35, Hield is,
Buddy Hield,
I like him, is 32, and Peyton's 32. They're 8 teams older. And so when I hear them say, we're looking at some of the other older A-listers because we want to have this best team for Curry now because he's only here a while longer. And is that a smart strategy for a team overall?
I think it really just depends on the players that you have. I think it mixes a lot, or you have a really young team like the Thunder who just won.
Yeah, they were great.
Incredible.
Young team.
Yeah, very young. Their oldest player was Alex Caruso, I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm right about that, which is crazy. But I don't know. I do want to say, though, with how much better kids are getting at a young age and how much training they put in now, I think the skill gap is going to keep on rising. So I think you do need to have some of these younger guys in there because they're going to add that extra skill in there because they've been training so much.
And they'll add longevity.
Yeah.
If they stick around.
Yeah.
And that's huge because if you can keep a team together for a good few years,
Build a lot of chemistry.
build that chemistry and
Yeah.
they'll become unstoppable.
I agree.
The young players, I think it's important, and I'm always amazed watching, basketball's my favorite, watching basketball, and here are these trained athletes. These are people at the top of physical health and strength, and they are dripping sweat and drenched as they're playing, and I see their chest going up and down. They're panting. And the fact that those trained athletes exert so much during the game blows my mind. I'd probably make it about a second and then keel over. But it blows my mind to see that's how strong they are, and that's how much exertion and exhaustion there is in playing a basketball. They never get to sit in a basketball game, really. I mean, they move in and out, but it's nonstop.
Yeah.
Play about 100 games too. It's crazy.
And there's no defense and offense. They're the same guys playing the whole time.
Yeah, but that also adds they are of the same caliber, so they have to play that way.
Yeah.
It's not like you can't, because there are going to be those guys who are going 100,000,000%, and you have to match it or you guys can't succeed. And so I think that every athlete who makes it in the pro levels knows that, and I'm sure they have developed that through their career.
I would imagine, being in that limelight and being on that court with your peers who are also, it's a matter of pride too.
Yeah.
You don't want to lay down, and so giving it your all is what it's all about.
For sure, I agree.
So how did you develop this love of sports? Because you always amaze me at how committed you are to sports, how I could ask you about almost any sports, and you have the data, the stats, the trivia. And I think that is what will make your podcast, when you finally do it, to be so exciting, is because you know so much for a person who's a layperson. And how did that happen?
I think, obviously social media. I'm sure, a bunch of my friends know just as much as I do about sports, and we talk about it all the time and can go on for hours. And I think it's just social media has given my generation the ability to see everything, and we can watch any game we want. We can see all the highlights we want. We can see all the backstory of anything. You just, type it up in your phone and there it is. But I also think when I was younger, my dad wouldn't let me watch anything in the morning unless it was ESPN. So,
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think that maybe added a play. I grew up playing sports. Not that I was the greatest at it, but I've just always had the love for competition, and I think it's just amazing to watch.
Yeah,
So,
and you've always loved it.
yeah.
Pretty amazing to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
he gets his exuberance and excitement because you're passionately interested.
Yeah. I would agree.
Around our house, we have sports on more often. When you look at what we watch on television, we watch all kinds of things, but sports takes up probably 2/3 of what we watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree. I probably watch. Yeah, I watch movies a good bit. I rarely watch TV. Like, if it's not a sports game, I'm not putting on the TV. Which is weird. I feel like a lot of people watch TV shows and I just don't. So maybe I'm missing out, but I personally enjoy movies and sports.
It's true. I can testify. So before we kind of close on our this segment of the episode, I wanted to ask you, since you've recently moved here from Seattle, and now you're here in Northern California, any thoughts on comparisons? I know you're a newbie here, but what you see, the weather.
The weather, number one. Anyone who's come from Seattle area can testify that as well. You wake up here and almost every single day is just sun. And back home, that was absolutely not the case. You might wake up and it's sun, but then an hour later it's completely pouring, and then it's sunny again, and then it's hailing out of nowhere, and you're just confused. You don't know what's going on.
Does it affect your mood when you get up in the morning and see the sunshine versus?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I think it affects anybody's mood.
It affected mine.
I think there are people out there who really like overcast. I'm a hoodie guy, so I like when it's not too hot so I can wear a hoodie, but definitely for sure waking up, looking outside, and it being a beautiful day definitely brightens your mood in the morning for sure. Without a doubt.
It does.
Yeah.
I know I used to say that to Kevin. It's like I wake up in the sunshine, and even in New Mexico, which is sunny all the time, I wake up in the sunshine and everything inside me does,
Yeah.
And I wake up,
relaxation.
even here, we'll have coastal fog, as you know, sometimes. I know it's going to burn off in an hour or two, but I see it and,
Yeah.
it's a different feeling. Any other things you notice off the top about California?
I like the drivers better.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you notice?
Man. I don't know what was going on back home, but I was almost losing my mind every single day on the road with how bad the drivers were. It baffles my brain how some drivers make these decisions on the road that are just catastrophic, and they just don't even know.
And they don't do that here?
Yeah. Well, I haven't experienced anything terrible yet, but everyone drives faster here, so it kind of takes away the aspect of making a dumb decision because you don't really have time. You have to just make a smart decision, and people could just go. Like, they don't wait, they don't do that, they just literally go. So I think that is probably the difference and why I like the drivers here more than
Have you noticed
back home.
how awful the highway signs are, though?
Oh yeah.
They don't give you any lead while you're
Oh
telling
yeah.
you where to
No,
go.
I have no.
Right? Isn't
A lot
that
of the
thing?
time, I have no idea where I'm going, but
Yeah,
I'm
and the
just
signs don't help.
no. But
GPS now.
yeah, sure. You just put it in your
What do
phone.
people do around here without that? It's just crazy. The
I have no
signage.
idea. I of course would have no idea. It
Do
would-
do you notice anything in the people, say when you go to the stores or out and about? Or you're not here long enough yet?
Maybe not here long enough yet, because I've only experienced the summer here. So in the summer back home, it's pretty good weather most of the time. So the people are bright in moods. But Seattleites have a lot of seasonal depression. So when that overcast winter rolls around, you tend to see everybody go back into their shell and not really be too fond of being nice. But I'm excited to see if people here, because it's just sunny all the time, there's not any of that seasonal depression. So
Yeah.
that'll be cool.
I think there's a few months, say, end of December, January, February. At the end of February, I say, okay, it's coming back. Even though it might rain a bit, you have many days that almost feel like summer in between. So this end of December, January, February, it could be cloudy a lot. And there are days when I'll moan like I might as well be in Seattle because it's so gray.
They'll get into
But,
the 30s at night.
Yeah, it gets cold, but it's so short-lived.
Yeah.
By the time you get annoyed by it, it's over.
It's gone.
Yeah.
I'll be glad that that weather's back.
I'll be curious to see what you think about it.
Yeah, maybe I won't like it then.
Yeah, you might get tired of the sunshine.
I don't know.
I don't think that could happen.
I don't think that could happen.
Right.
I don't know if anyone could get tired of the sunshine.
I don't know.
Well, I remember when I lived in Arizona, when I was a kid.
Well, it's so hot there.
Yeah, that's a different
Yeah, I
type
was
of-
like, God, I wish it
Yeah.
would just rain. Yeah, but day after day after 100, 105, whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
So anything else you want to add about location or sports before we come to a close?
I would like to say that the 49ers are the worst football team in the NFL. I'm glad you can agree.
Hey, we were terrible last year. I started rooting for the Lions.
Now, if you value your life,
I should not
I
say that.
suggest you really be
I'm gonna tone it
careful
down.
where you say that publicly.
There are a lot of people.
There are Seahawks fans.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
run
but
into
you're
a
in
lot of
California,
them.
Niner country, so
Yeah.
I would like to see you survive.
Yeah, I can agree. I'll maybe relax. I mean, you're never going to catch me in a Seahawks jersey at a Niners. Well,
You know, he does those things. He's provocative purposely.
I'll probably start talking too much trash that I'll maybe start a fight. So I don't know if...
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, that's probably not a good idea. But, yeah, I do not like the Niners.
Yeah, who's going to punch an old man, right?
You just got to say that, no, I'm an old
I
man.
don't know what I'm doing.
You're going to hit an old man.
You're gonna have a heart attack. Go after him.
Just turn him my way. That's a good
He'll
idea.
fight you. Well, we really enjoy being here, and I look forward to incorporating this periodically as the seasons heat up. Yes, football season starts. You know, the official game September 7th, right?
Yeah.
And they play the
49ers.
49ers.
In Seattle. So
Yeah.
hopefully the Seattle fans can really bring it. Last season, the Seattle fans were not that great. Tickets were just being sold to whoever, so it was kind of like away games at home.
Nice time to go see a Seahawks.
Yeah. So
Maybe we should fly up.
yeah.
I think we should catch the game because we're probably not going to fly up, but I'm catch the game here. Didn't you say they're playing? The Hawks are playing the Niners here at the end of the season.
They are at the last game.
Yeah, so I think we should plan ahead and make that a family
That's going to be a
event.
bloodbath.
Yeah,
That'll be, I think, a hoot.
I hope it means something.
Yeah.
To one of the teams.
For sure.
Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you
I
guys
look
for
forward
having
to
me
doing
on
it
here.
again.
Yeah.
Like our amazing grandson here, we're so excited they moved up here. We get to see him. I mean, he's been my buddy since he's little. Of course, in day one, I was there when he was born. I
Yep.
watched him come out into the world. I mean, that's a pretty sacred thing to share with someone. So,
And yeah, by all means, come back, even if it's a Zoom segment. You know.
I would love to.
you will.
That
Thank
would
you
be
guys for
awesome.
having me on.
Yeah,
It was a great time.
absolutely.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Cool.
So, Until next time.
Yeah. Well, wait, we want to say, bring your cat pictures in, still some 333 photos.
Yeah, keep
Right?
sending them in. Yeah, we get enough of them, we'll put together a reel.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we've been doing posts. Check that we've been adding posts periodically besides videos. And a recent post is asking for folks to please subscribe and help us fool that algorithm.
And even though I'm constantly having malfunction flashbacks, we still need to add a couple of those to upcoming episodes.
Yeah. And again, heartfelt love out to the Osborne family.
Absolutely.
Yes. So,
Rest in peace, Ozzy.
yeah, that was fun, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Peace out.